I found out my own daughter had sold my house when a stranger knocked on my door and told me he was the new owner. He was standing there with a folder in his hand, smiling politely, while my entire world fell apart. The house where I raised my children, the house where my husband took his final breath, the house filled with 35 years of memories, was no longer mine. And the worst part? The person who betrayed me was the one person I thought would protect me. My name is Linda Brown, and this is the story of how my own daughter's greed uncovered a secret I had kept hidden for over 20 years. After my husband, Michael, passed away, my life became quieter than I ever imagined. For almost 4 decades, we built a simple but happy life together. We were never rich, but we had enough. We worked hard, raised our children, and created a home full of love. When Michael died, I felt like half of me disappeared. My daughter, Rachel, promised me she would always be there. "Mom, you don't have to worry about anything anymore," she told me at the funeral. "I'll take care of you." I believed her. For the first few months, she called often. She brought groceries. She helped me with bills. But slowly, things started changing. Her visits became shorter. Her calls became less frequent. And every conversation somehow turned into money. "Mom, you're living alone in that big house," she would say. "It's too much responsibility for you." At first, I thought she was concerned. Then one afternoon, she brought paperwork to my house. She said it was just a simple document allowing her to help manage my finances. "I'm only trying to make things easier for you," she said. But something inside me felt wrong. I told her I wanted to read everything carefully before signing. Her smile disappeared. "Mom, why are you making this difficult? Don't you trust me?" Those words hurt more than I expected. Because I did trust her. She was my daughter. A few weeks later, I noticed something strange. Important letters from my bank were missing. When I asked Rachel about them, she became defensive. "You forget things all the time now," she said. That sentence stayed in my mind. Because I knew something was happening. I wasn't forgetting. Someone wanted me to think I was. So I made a decision. I quietly contacted my old friend, Thomas, who worked as a private investigator before retirement. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted the truth. 3 days later, Thomas called me. His voice sounded serious. "Linda, you need to come see me. There's something you need to know." When I arrived, he placed a folder on the table. Inside were documents showing that Rachel had secretly taken out loans using my house as collateral. But that wasn't the worst part. She had already signed paperwork to sell the property. Without my permission. I felt sick. The daughter I raised, protected, and loved had been planning to take away the one thing her father and I spent their entire lives building. But Thomas wasn't finished. "There's something else," he said. He showed me a copy of an email between Rachel and a real estate agent. Rachel had written, "Once the sale is complete, my mother won't understand what happened anyway." I read those words again and again, not because they surprised me, but because they broke my heart. My own daughter didn't see me as her mother anymore. She saw me as an obstacle. I wanted to confront her immediately. But Thomas stopped me. "Linda, if you confront her now, she will deny everything. Let her believe she has won." So I did something Rachel never expected. I acted like I knew nothing. When she came over, I smiled. I made coffee. I listened as she proudly talked about how my future was going to change. "I found you a nice apartment," she said. "You'll actually like it better than this old place." I looked around my living room. The same room where Michael and I celebrated birthdays. The same room where we opened Christmas presents with our children. And I realized something. Rachel wasn't just selling a house. She was trying to erase my entire life. But she forgot one important thing. This house had a history, and hidden inside that history was something she knew nothing about. Before Michael died, he discovered that our original property papers had been incorrectly recorded decades earlier. A small mistake had been made during the first purchase. Michael spent months investigating it, and before he passed away, he left instructions with our attorney. The house was protected by a legal trust that could not be transferred without my direct approval. Rachel thought she had control, but she never did. On the day the buyer arrived at my door, Rachel came with him, expecting me to leave quietly. She looked confident. She thought she had already won. But then my attorney walked inside. The smile disappeared from her face. He placed the documents on the table and calmly explained everything. The illegal loans, the false paperwork, the attempted fraud. Rachel stood there silently. For the first time, she looked afraid. The buyer walked away. The sale was cancelled. And my daughter had to face the consequences of what she had done. Months later, Rachel apologized. Not because she suddenly understood my pain, but because she finally understood what she had lost. I forgave her, but forgiveness did not mean forgetting. Some wounds heal slowly. Some trust takes years to rebuild. Today, I still live in the same house. The house my husband built with me. The house where my memories live. And I learned something important. Sometimes the people closest to us can hurt us the deepest. But no one can take away our strength, our dignity, or the truth. Because lies may run for a while. But eventually, the truth always finds its way home. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more emotional stories that remind us about life, family, and the power of truth.